Hi class. It's time for us to talk about the synthesis essay. So I'm going to take a few minutes to go ahead and sort of explain that, walk you through it, and then you're going to want to go ahead and consult your information sheet that you can find in eCourseWare to get more details for that. So to synthesize something means to make a coherent whole from different parts, to sort of harmonize different parts, to combine, to combine elements so that what you get in the end is more complex and more complete. So that's what you're going to try to do with this essay. The synthesis paper needs to be about 4 to 5 pages long, double spaced. And what you're going to do is you're going to explore a very particular aspect of voice, something that has caught your attention when you've been reading over the last several weeks, and you need to use at least 3 of our course readings. You are welcome to explore other readings out that we've done or that we will do, or things that you can find outside of class work, but at least 3 of your sources and the bulk of your work needs to come from 3 of our readings for class. So you're going to choose something that's interesting to you. Maybe you want to do something with the idea of the collaboratively written voice. And so that would be like your unifying theme, and then you would kind of mine really important information from 3 different sources to try to argue a point about the collaboratively written voice. Whatever it is that you've been interested in that you've read, you're going to choose that, and then you're going to find some sources that kind of help you create a synthesis, create a whole, an argument using these points. The most important thing with a synthesis is to remember that you are using the sources to support your own ideas, not the other way around. So you have to figure out what you're going to say and then use the sources to back you up, okay? So one thing that you want to keep in mind when you do this is that your thesis statement is going to be very important, because your thesis statement is going to determine how you use the source materials, but also it's going to help you kind of plan out the order that you're going to use them in, the strategy that you're going to use. So don't overlook the importance of the thesis statement. It's going to state your claim. It's going to be your stance on the issue, okay? So, a couple of things to keep in mind while you're writing this. I like to think of a really strong synthesis paper as a dialogue between what you want to say and what your sources actually say. So you kind of are creating this conversation between yourself and these authors who have also written about voice. You're creating yourself as an author, basically, and you're using these other authors to help back you up. An A or B paper will have something important to say, okay? So don't feel like you can't come up with your own idea, because you absolutely can. And in fact, you're going to be rewarded for coming up with some sort of new idea on voice. So think about that. An A or B paper will be insightful and thoughtful. It will be engaging. It will represent the ideas from your sources really fairly, which means maybe you're pulling something from a source that you don't necessarily agree with. That is fine. But you need to represent those ideas accurately and fairly, whether you agree with them or not. We always have to talk about the works cited page, because it is important. I know it's nitpicky, I know it's annoying, but your works cited page needs to be put together in a polished way. So using a source like EasyBib is always a good place to start, but you should never think that EasyBib will provide you with the perfect works cited page, because it will not. You have to compare what you get there with what a source like the Purdue OWL or your Little Tiger Handbook or some other sort of MLA citation source will help you with. Remember that you want to logically organize this paper. So you're going to start with your thesis, but then you're going to think thoughtfully through your paragraphs and make those logical. Use topic sentences, people. Make sure you use your topic sentences to construct the information that you want in each paragraph, and make sure that your sentences are clear and easy to read. I am not a grammarian by any chance, like that's not necessarily my thing, but when your writing gets in the way of the point that you're trying to make, then we have a problem. So you need to write clearly, and you need to pay attention to all those little things. I hope that this helps you get started on your synthesis paper, but with all writing assignments, my suggestion is always to just start writing. So use a 10-minute free write to get you started. Think about something you want to say, write it out, and then at the end of that 10 minutes of free writing, write a statement at the bottom that kind of summarizes what you've said. And maybe that's a starting place for where you are with your thesis statement. Good luck, guys. Synthesis essay, it's coming up.